putting in, but I would make a motion to appoint Mark Justin Coop for the Fair Board.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. All right, and Memorial Regional Health Board of Trustees?
Well, we got one.
Yep, got one.
That was appreciated. So Chair, I make a motion to appoint Kathy Fagan to the Memorial Regional Health Board of Trustees.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And yeah, I'll just echo those two boards in particular are quite a time commitment, and I appreciate their willingness to do so. So we'll move on to staff reports. Our county attorney, Max Salazar, with resolution 2026-55. This is regarding the dissolution of the Moffett County Local Marketing District and is one of the steps that we have to take to make that happen.
Good morning, Commissioners. Max Salazar, County Attorney. So big picture, what this resolution does is it formally and legally dissolves the Moffett County Local Marketing District. It concludes its existence and then also puts that on public record, basically. This is a step that should have been done by the local marketing district itself, and I can sort of get into that a little bit, but the background on this is that the local marketing district, as we all know, was created by three entities: Moffett County, the city of Craig, and the town of Dinosaur. And that local marketing district was authorized for 10 years. This was done back in 2016. The language in the ballot said that this is to last for 10 years, and on December 31st, it will cease to exist unless it gets voted on again and perpetuated for another 10 years. That didn't happen. The voters did not approve that renewal. So the problem now is that although the operations stopped, they're not holding meetings or anything like that anymore. The local marketing district never formally adopted or filed a resolution to dissolve the entity. And under state law, that the expiration of the local marketing district alone is not enough to close it out. There also has to be a resolution. And so that's what this does. Let's see here. The statute itself actually contemplates a situation like this when the district itself doesn't file their own resolution to dissolve. What happens after that? And so basically it's left up to the three entities at this point. And so what we're asking to do is to have each of the three entities file their own separate resolution to dissolve the LMD. And at that point, I think as far as that piece of it, I think we should be good. In addition to that, for the board to know, for the county commissioners to know, there's also going to be some other activities that need to happen to formally wind up the LMD. The LMD still has assets that are currently being held by Moffett County. Moffett County has been the fiscal sponsor this entire time, and so that money still needs to be divvied out to the three entities. The way that that's going to happen is it will be sent back out to the three entities in the proportion in which it was received. So the percentage basically will determine, how much each of the three entities ends up getting out of this. In addition to that, the three entities, and we refer to it as the ex officio board. I think we'll have to also determine if there's any outstanding debt obligations, which I don't think there are. That'll have to be dealt with. And then lastly, all of the records, we're going to ask that they be transferred to the county clerk and recorder. And so after the three entities pass their resolutions, they will then be filed with the Colorado Department of Revenue and the Colorado Department of Local Affairs, and that will close things out with them. It'll be formally closed on the public record. And as I said, we'll still have a few other things to take care of, but at least as far as satisfying the statute for winding this up, that'll be taken care of. So I'm asking that the board today approve that resolution. And then if there's any other questions, I can answer them.
I think the only question I had from others was why this was so heavily weighted to Moffett County on the draft resolution that we had shared. And it's because we're the fiscal agent. So we have duties above and beyond just doing the resolution to dissolve. And then I think that all of the items that were approved in 2025 have been taken care of through our finance office.
Okay.
So I believe the only thing that we would have is because this wasn't done by the district and turned into the state did not send out notice to the local lodging tax, the collectors, to say that they were no longer collecting at the beginning of 2026. And so there will be some funds probably held at the state and with Moffett County that'll need to be returned to those lodging tax collectors.
Right, and we'll be working through that as well.
Yep. So other than that, I think this ties things up and allows us to be able to, like you said, divvy that up by percentage and send it back out to the other two entities and back into Moffett County from the district. Okay.
Great. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-55, resolution for the dissolution of the Moffett County Local Marketing District.
Second?
Okay. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Max.
And the treasurer's office, Robert Rosano and Amy Wilson, discuss selling interest in county-owned property. Good morning.
So we had a taxpayer approach us about purchasing some property that the county owns. We have a quarter interest in some property down by Dinosaur. With our quarter interest, it's only about 3 acres. And so to sell property that the county owns, we need approval from you guys to do it first, and we'll advertise it and we'll handle the sale. So we just need approval to go forward. And then if you guys want to set a minimum on that, I think, I don't know, it's 3 acres down by Dinosaur. I don't know what that's worth.
Who else owns interest?
It's in here.
It's right there.
Okay, so Moffett County has, where's the breakdown of the house of quarters? It has the percentages on it. Okay, so Moffett County has a quarter. Wiley Bachman has a 16th. Nelda Brimhall has a 16th. Mike Harding has a half. And Rex Walker, WK Land has a 16th
Each.
each.
And we acquired this off a treasurer's deed. So nobody bought it at the sale. We had it forever. And then since 93, and then it went to deed in 2012. And really, there is no reason to have this.
Yeah.
I have a map. We colored a little spot. I can show you where it's at.
About, I'd say 5-6 miles this side of Dinosaur.
And they've submitted all of the, it's this little spot right there. The clear over there is for selling. Well, yes. So Mike Harding, which is Cactus Ranch Investments, is the one that contacted us. He's the one that has the biggest percentage. He has a half. And
He's hoping to get the
yeah.
other quarter and then you have 3/4 and trying to get the rest.
so one person out of all the, Rex Walker and W/K have been paying their taxes, and another person. But he holds the 16th from a tax lien sale also. So he's gonna acquire another 16th. So he just kind of wants to collect it all, which makes sense in the end. Kind of consolidate. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like I say, just need approval to go forward, and if you want to put a minimum of whatever
Yeah.
you want to put on, 500, 750.
Do you not get appraisal on it or how does it?
I wouldn't recommend that
Because that costs more than we'll get off. of-
ever.
Okay.
It only like the,
We'll get that, appraisal will run you $1,000 probably.
yeah, and the assessed value is only 1,000 because it's a quarter interest. So there, you really don't even own, all these people own it together. Really, there's no reason to keep holding it.
Yeah, assessor's office has a value. of $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant for the, not for our quarter percent.
The land itself.
For the whole, you're right, you're saying we put on there for a minimum for just what we're asking.
Just our.
Yes.
That we're selling.
Yeah,
And
So-
it obviously didn't cost much. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't charge ourselves. I didn't charge the county, you know.
I think you need some minimum on there. The guy will come and bid a buck. You
Yeah.
know, He'll bid $1 on it. He'll be the only bid and we'll have to take it. So need
Yeah.
some minimum on there. So. we
So
get
when that
some-
goes up on a public sale, if somebody outbids this gentleman, then he has a quarter interest owned by someone else potentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
But it goes back on the tax roll, collecting taxes, which isn't gonna collect a lot, but it's gonna collect more than what the county's paying. Right. Yeah. And if he's able to secure the whole thing and build on it or whatever, then that is an improvement. as well. And he does have the two that hold the 16th. He did say he's talked to, out of the 3 or 4, the 2 said that they would quit claim them to him. So he's gonna gain even more
So it all, but
in the end.
the 16th probably is.
Yeah.
What he's gonna
He's gonna
be
acquire.
lacking, but then
Mhm.
he'll contact that person, try to buy it from them.
Yeah,
So he'll have the whole
thing almost.
but
interest.
he's wanting it.
Yeah, well, and he can't do anything with it because you only own, you know, a half.
Yeah.
So, but if you, because we'll advertise in the paper and do a sealed bid or whatever and go from there.
So what do you think in the minimum should be?
750 maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
$750.
Yeah, $750. Just so we get something out of it, rather than just
Nothing.
come in and bid whatever, $10.
Mhm.
Do we need a motion for that or?
Yes.
So Chair, I would make a motion, see how I word this, but to, give the treasurer's office permission to sell R10075, our quarter percent interest, and with a minimum bid of $750.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
And Road and Bridge Department, Dan Miller.
Morning.
Morning.
So
We've, back in February, we bid a new snowplow truck and, we had a couple of options, one truck only and one with a complete package with a 14-foot dump box, 12-foot snowplow included. Well, it was over our budget considerable amount, so we just got the truck, the bare truck only. Holman Company is the only company that bid for the upfitting for the option A. While the complete package was over our budget amount, the wet kit portion was in line with the budget amount of $50,909.15. Then we'll use the salvage the box and plow and everything off the truck that we're putting at auction. So it'll be a combination of new truck with used parts, but the wet kit is basically the hydraulic pump, the tank, all the hoses and all the fittings for that. And we've got to have that to use our old stuff. So we're asking you to approve the bid of $50,909.15.
What was it budgeted for? Do you remember?
I think we're budgeted at 280 and
For the total package?
yeah. And we were like 340. I'm not exactly sure on those numbers, but that's close.
Okay.
We've made a lot of phone calls and discussions, and this is just what we think is our best option.
Mhm.
Board's pleasure.
Give him my permission. You want to make a motion or you want me to? Okay. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve, for Road and Bridge, the Holman Force American 30-gallon hydraulic wet kit in the amount of $50,909.15.
Second.
Okay. Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye. I might should have waited longer. Should've gone the second time. Real quick before we move on to the presentation, one thing that probably should have recognized on our consent agenda, because we do read that into the record every year, is the National Day of Prayer proclamation. Ladies, did you have anything you wanted to say for that?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll come follow.
Yeah. At least share your date and what you have planned for it. That would be
Okay,
good for the public.
yeah, the National Day of Prayer will be, is designated by the country as the first Thursday in May. So it will be May 7th. We'll be holding two events. One will be here at the courthouse at noon, and one will be at New Creation Church, which will be live streamed. And that's also at noon.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Good
Yep.
day.
You too. All right, and now we have a presentation for Northwest Rocky Mountain CASA. Karen?
That's my name. I just organized it.
Oh.
Cindy Alton.
Yeah. He's not going to let you get away with not helping.
That's right.
Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners and staff. It's great to be with you today. My name is Jim McCormick. I'm the executive director of Northwest Rocky Mountain CASA, which stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. We do most of our best work right in this building since 2012. Karen has been on the board recently with CASA and been with us since the beginning, really, in 2012. So we're celebrating our 15th year as an organization. We also get to work with your DHS department and Ms. Kristen back there, get to be colleagues with her in this important work. Wanted to just touch base with you today and and let you know that most of our work is in Moffett County. So we advocate for children who find themselves in an abuse or neglect situation in court, in an adjudication. We are court appointed by the judge and walk that child or children through that process as we try to get to a permanency situation for them within about a year or so. And Moffett County is really where we do the majority of our work. Our office is in Steamboat. We have an office here in Craig as well. But this is where most of our work is done. So I thought it was important for me to touch base with you and let you know what our work has been doing here in the county. We have a cause, and a cause really is defined as a principle, aim, or movement because of a deep commitment one is prepared to defend or advocate. And that is our cause, is to defend and advocate for children as they go through one of the most vulnerable times of their life. And the cause is great. As you know, this is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And so I know you've had some information on that, but the cause is great. Here in Colorado, just in the recent statistics, 30,000 cases were investigated, 9,700 were substantiated here in Colorado. The great majority of those are children under 1 year old, and 71% of them occur from the parents. So the cause is great. Just here in
30,000 in a year or in?
30,000 in a year. Yes, the hotline in Colorado gets over 200,000 calls a year in Colorado. In 2025, here in the 14th Judicial District that I know you're aware of, which is the three counties, Grand, Routt, and Moffett, we serviced 16 different cases and served 33 children just last year. Just since 2020, we have served over 200 children in 100 cases here in the 14th Judicial District. So the cause is great, and one that we appreciate the work that is done by DHS here in the county, as we are colleagues with them in this effort, and appreciate your support for what happens with children in this county as well, in Moffett. Since 2012, we have served 500 children in the 14th Judicial District. And that feels like a significant number to me that CASA has been a part of and served. But I would run this organization for one child. It's that important to me that children are our greatest resource. They are our future. And if it's just one child a year needed this advocacy in court, I would run this organization just for them. But we've unfortunately had to service 500 of them since 2012. I would love to be the executive director that closed CASA because there's no more need for it. But I think as we look at what's going on in this area, we're worried about the next 500 children that we need to serve going forward. And that's where I'd ask for your support as you deal with these issues in the county. Know that you have an organization who is walking alongside children in these very vulnerable situations to help them figure out their future. Really, what we do is ensure pathways of safety and stability right off the bat, and then for hope for the future. We make sure that everybody involved in this process knows what best pathway there is for the child or children going forward. And that is really what we advocate for. We also believe, though, in family reunification. We want that family to come back together if at all possible. And so the next arm that CASA does, besides the advocacy in court for children, is the supervised family time, where we provide here in Moffett at our office right behind you here. We provide an opportunity for families to still stay in contact with those children as they go through this process by providing a stable and safe environment with a provider. Obviously, in that situation, the court has ordered the removal of the children from the home. We think it's important that that contact continue through this long court process. And so we provide also supervised family time for those families going forward. Hopefully to get to a point in permanency for the child of reunifying that family going forward. So that's who we are, what we do. I think what's important for me today is that you know that most of our work in the 3 counties is here in Moffett. And right here in this courthouse, you know, most weeks we are advocating for children. So appreciate your support going forward. Obviously, we've appreciated Ms. Stillion's commitment to CASA from the first years that it was happening. And we just ask that you keep us in mind going forward as things might come up. Any questions I can answer for you?
Not for me. Appreciate all the work you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks.
And that concludes our business today. We will be adjourned and meet again here Tuesday, May 12th, 2026 at 8:30 a.m.
Well,